We're in a yard with Darwin. I've put the most nervous little yappy chihuahua, jumpy chihuahua that I have to show you how he is with another dog. And at a fence line, it's usually worse when they're in a yard. I've been practicing calling him to come to me in different yards, off leash, because that's one of the requirements. And even in the presence of another dog would be a little bit harder usually. So my problem, and there's no food involved here, as you can see. I don't have treats or anything, but I practice this so many times that all he wants to do is hang out next to me, and he won't go, like if I go over here, he won't pay attention to the dog. And why don't you show what he's doing now so I can possibly do this? Come! See, he's coming way across the yard. Good. He was drinking water. I called him to come to me. Came running back over to me. No rewards, no treats. Good boy. I just love him up. Good boy. If I had a leash and I wanted to hook him up, I'd hook him up on the leash and I'd take him away or wherever I was going. Let's do it again. See if he can go over, pay attention to the little yappy little dog. Hey. Why don't you go over there? What happens is if you practice a lot with him, like I have, he just always wants to be around you. And so if you're hanging out with him in a yard, he wants to hang out with you because you've practiced the training so much. So I'm hoping that the video person can get him. You can see he's there, and I can sneak away and call him from a distance. So look where he's going now. Okay, come! All across the yard. Good boy. So as you can see, when you phase the food out correctly after a month or so of training, in an emergency, you just pretend like you have it in your little target. He comes to this target, and then you just love him up, and he doesn't even notice the difference. But you'll have to practice for a few weeks until you have the same thing, obviously. Go. But the quicker you phase the food out, the quicker you're going to have this. Let's see if we can get him to go over there again and just call him one more time off leash. Make sure we show you he can do that. So he's going to go somewhere. You know what? We're going to come back in a second, and I'm going to practice something else that's even harder for him to do. Darwin really doesn't have a problem with other dogs off leash. It's a leash generated problem, obviously, and he could be good with a lot of dogs. And after you've handled him for a while, like I have, he'll start being relaxed just by your presence, like he is here, and hanging out around you and just kind of waiting in the back of his mind for the next time you're going to call him to come. So I just want to show him in a more difficult situation where maybe he's really into something like this pile of treats here that I'm going to put over on that side of the yard. It's going to take him a few seconds to gobble it up, but I'm going to call him away from it, and I'm not going to have treats. So I've got some really yummy stuff here for Darwin. I'm going to drop this pile of treats here. I'm going to run across the other end of the yard. It's about 35 feet away, and show Darwin. Come! Good boy, good boy. He's so good. So just another way to show you his solid recall off leash. I have no treats, of course, because now we can do it without treats at this stage of the training. And he has no idea why he wanted to break away from that pile of treats and come running back to me when I said come. So this is just about the individual, whoever's handling him, practicing so that he's used to doing it with them, like he's used to doing it with me. So obviously he can do it. It's just about whoever's handling him has to practice the same stuff, and you'll have this. Good boy. And then of course you could hook him up, take him out, take him away, or you could just give him a reward, pet him, love him up, and then go, send him back. Come on, go have more treats, go.